breakers, please.
At the same time?
Yep, you'll notice that the bike turns on this time. So immediately upon getting power. Okay, we are on. I'm connecting.
Hard click.
Yep, the contactor closed. Bike is now charging. Okay.
I'm watching for smoke.
Trying to connect to it so I can just see stuff. Well, you're already at 97 volts. You were at 90 volts when we started the video. You're at 97 now. What the hell? Okay, 98 volts. So on the app, I'm also recording this, but you can see your voltage is gone up, but you don't see any current. That's because the positive side of the connectors is bypassing the current sensor. And I mean, you're at 100. We were, and
No, we're just checking.
Oh, okay,
We're good. We're good.
all right. Yeah, you are charging right now at 8.6 kilowatts, 87 amps, actually 88 amps. So you are just about 2C right now. The reason you're limited to 2C is not your voltage. It's because your batteries are only 26 degrees Celsius is the coolest cell in both of your packs. And we're going based off of the coolest cell for our C rate increase. Now when we get to the high end of it, we'll actually go with the hottest cell for decreasing the C rate. That way it's safe on whichever end we're on.
Go to the ugliest situation in both
Exactly.
cases.
So you may lose, oh my god, you're at 103 volts.
I worked hard to bring it down to that level.
Yeah, is this okay?
No, it still doesn't know what it's doing.
Oh.
It's completely confused.
We're way at the top up here. You're just smelling.
You just kind of never know what to do with something in there.
Uh-huh.
Fresh. Yeah, it could be the fresh scent of
Charging.
well, I was thinking more like ozone.
Freedom. Fresh sense of freedom.
Okay. So,
What are we at now for voltage?
your bike is reading
104.
103.8.
Oh.
103.9. See, in here we also, we're measuring both the charger's estimated voltage, the BMS 0's estimated voltage, BMS 1's estimated voltage, the number of amps that we're putting out, the number of amps that both of the packs see. Then we have the low temp for BMS 1, high temp for BMS 1. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, that's your amp hours. So you see 44 is your 1C.
It's gone up 1 degree already.
Oh, the temperature of the battery, yeah,
But it's been
27
more than a
is
minute.
the slowest. Yeah, but now you're high enough that your C rate, you're still at 2C right now, but 2C at your current voltage is now 9,178 watts into the battery. Instead of when we started, because your voltage was so low, it was 8 point something. Now it's 9 point something. This is not bad. Oh, and you can also see that you're being limited here by our C rate tapering, because we're shooting for 12,000 watts and we're only getting 9.2
Because of temperature
kW.
limitations.
Temperature, voltage,
Yeah.
the various things. So as your voltage goes up, your C rate, your maximum C rate is going to start to go down. You're already in that now for here.
We're already
So-
being cut back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're over halfway charged.
What?
In the time that we've been doing the video.
It's been 5 minutes and 8 seconds, and 1 minute was spent talking about this. You guys, in 4 minutes, you're saying we got 50% in 4 minutes?
It looks like that could be the case. I mean, you are charging at 2C, so it's possible you're only at 40%.
Oh, well, yeah, that's not impressive then.
Because I'm just estimating how much lift you have in your battery voltage right now. Because you're at 105 volts lifted.
Which probably means it's like 100 volts.
It could be as low as 101 volts. Because normally with 1C on the large battery packs, what I estimate is 2 volts of drop.
But this is a very tiny
This is
battery.
2C.
This is a third the size of yours.
It's still the same C rating though.
Oh.
Right, so while the battery pack itself may be smaller, the
ratio is the same.
Exactly,
2C
yes.
is 2C is 2C for that battery.
correct. You're over 105 volts.
Why is my hair sticking out? He looks up. Why is everybody's hair sticking straight out right now?
Brandon's got a full afro.
Like the time I was on
This
top
is
of Pikes
unusual.
Peak.
Can anyone not feel the left side of their face? It's just me.
Oh my goodness.
Taste
Your
popper.
chargers are still ice cold.
Oh, they don't get hot until they at least run for 15 minutes. I know this from doing
Well, they're never gonna get hot then.
Yes! They're never going to get hot, which means we don't need the fans. No, except we do. Because it makes a huge difference. We ran them without it, they get hot. No, they get hot.
Yeah.
They do. They warmed your legs though.
Yeah, they do, but the fans are worth it. It keeps it
Yeah.
so much colder.
This is unbelievable, man. You when we started the video, you were at 90 volts.
Yeah.
We're at 6
This
minutes
is-
and 51 seconds in. We were almost about ready to hit 5 minutes of charging.
You are you must be in the middle of the pack now because it's taking a little bit longer for the voltage to go up.
Yeah.
You're at
Well, we're also
105.5.
we're still hitting thermal cutbacks. We're not even 30C.
Yes, that's correct.
So
Yeah, well, your lowest temperature is 29.
The real test, if we wanted to do an impressive test, would be to run around and get these into 40C and come back.
Yeah, well, 40C is the optimal temperature. That is the temperature where you'll be able to get 3C.
At
And
the
you'll
beginning.
also have to be down near 90 volts in order to get it. So the lowest state of charge, as well as the highest operable battery temperature. As you get lower than that, you start to drop. As you get higher than that, you will have a very fast drop. You will plummet if you get over like 50C.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And actually go cold.
That's correct. At like 70C, it's very, very tiny. And then at 75C, I actually turn the chargers off.
Because you don't want to die.
That's correct. There's no sense in... I mean, you're not even going to be able to ride the bike if you were ever to get them that hot. Okay, we're at 106 volts now. Okay. So you can actually see in some of the numbers here, it may be a little confusing for people, but you see where that 79.2 is?
Yes.
That was actually, you started to cut back, and you can see it's bouncing between 79.2 and 84. It's ramping up and down, keeping just the right C rate for the temperature and the voltage level that you're at right now.
And we've only gone up 2 degrees Celsius.
Yep.
So that's
It's
not...
charging doesn't really create
No.
that much temperature, so long as you do it appropriately.
That's what I found too, is that, again, driving the bike, it'll go up a lot. But
Yeah.
charging...
Well, also, when
when
you're
it's
driving,
cold,
you're going at 10C, right? Discharge is 10C.
I mean, but driving around normally, it's 3 to 5C. 10C is wide open at 116 volts, if I have that initial. But I mean, driving around, I'm 3 to 5C most of the time. So
Could heat
the
your batteries
the
up.
charging is the least of our concerns.
Okay. We're still hovering at 106. So this is, what are you at now? 79.2, so that's probably 1.8? What's 44 times 1.8?
44 times 1.8?
It's gonna be at 70. I don't know.
Yeah, it's that
point.
2 would be 88. So I'd say it's like 80.
Because minus
Wait,
minus
what?
0.2, so 4.4 minus 8.8, so it's at 79, 80, somewhere around
Oh
there.
yeah, 79, 80. So
Okay, so 7980 is about 1.8C. So this is your next drop. Then after this, I think the next one you'll see is 1.7 or 1.6 will be the next drop you see.
Did you have a thermal temperature gun?
yeah, but we don't need it. The thing's got more accurate measurement. Than that.
Yeah, I know,
It's
but
a
you were
couple CL.
you're so gingerly touching it. You
Well,
couldn't
I
just-
was more interested
pointed-
if there was any electricity that might pass through these boots onto the floor, since I have been known
Right.
to deal with those problems with our very creative electricity wiring we have in the shop.
Yes.
So I just thought I'd gingerly touch it in case it wanted to talk to me.
wanted to go off.
Yeah, well, wanted to bag.
All right, so I can see we are now doing 8.4 kilowatts, whereas just a little while ago we were doing up to 9.2.
Still at 6 though. So it's because the lift is getting smaller each time, and so
That's correct.
it's basically catching up what it did before.
Yeah, so as the voltage rises with the amperage, we're going to taper your amperage off, which is basically going to make the voltage start to sag and stay the same. Similar to the way constant voltage charging works, it's but it's not. It's C rate limiting, but it will result in something that looks very similar.
Yeah, but what it basically doing is you're getting the ripples smaller and smaller and smaller
Yep.
each time.
Yep.
So the idea is that it looks like you're getting nothing. It just happens it's getting more accurately full as opposed to outrageously highs and lows.
So back on track, what are we at in terms of voltage? Like overall, we have
Almost 107.
Yeah, we're at
And we started at
106.7.
We're at 106.7, and full is
116.
116.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but see
We've already gone up
So we're
16 volts, and we've got 10 more to go.
Yeah, 16 to 70%. We're 60 to 70% charged right now, and it's
Yeah.
been 10 minutes.
yeah, basically 10.
Mother of God.
That is so
That's
cool.
from empty.
It's
This thing was
This was
empty.
Zach had to actually push it from the hill
Yes.
over to here.
Yeah, drained the bike beyond, like, so it's empty. You'll never encounter this in the field, pretty much.
Unless you're Terry Hirschner.
Unless you're Terry,
Yeah.
or you're beta testing, in which case this thing will basically take 10 to 12 minutes to fully charge 2080.
Yeah. Like,
Okay then.
20 to 80. Like if you're keeping your battery in the healthy range, which is no lower than 20%, no higher than 80%, like this is what everybody has been asking for. This is I need this to be
yeah.
as fast as a gas bike. You know what? If you can fill your bike this fast, you're going to have to stop to take breaks when you're riding,
Like,
not to charge, but
this is-
because you're going to be too tired.
This is the first world problem where you say, my bike is charged before I finish my cafe latte. Like, I finished this, but my bike's done.
I'm not going to know what to do. I'm so used to having to take a break, and then I can get a sandwich, and I can look around, I can talk to people.
Myself
Yeah, my
sit there.
My sandwich
Yeah.
still isn't ready, and my bike's full.
Yeah, like I trained myself to sit there and kill.
We're at
half hour
107.
or 45 minutes of time, knowing I gotta wait that long. Now it's gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and use the bath. Oh, I'm full. Okay, I gotta hurry up and finish and get on the road again. Because enough time to grab a croissant and then get on the road again. Be quick,
107.
run in, get the fondants, and get out.
Okay, so we are hovering between 107.2 and 107.4 in our charging. We are still at 1.8 C, it appears. 8.5 kilowatts. A 5.7 kilowatt hour battery.
Yeah, but it's
Marketing.
marketed one. Probably like 5.
Well, it's a 1C for this entire system is 44 amps.
Right, so it's basically 5 kW H.
When it's full. Yeah,
Yes.
when it's full.
When it's completely full.
Yeah, if you're at 100 volts, though, that's only 4,400 watts is 1C.
Yes.
If you were at 90, that's like 4,000 or so.
Oh my God. The poor baby.
All right, 107 and a half.
Oh, 33 degrees Celsius.
Yep.
That's getting warm now.
Mhm.
That's, you know what it probably is that's probably why it's sticking with the charging rate, because as temperature's going up, it's going up with it.
Correct. If the temperatures had stayed at like 26, 28 Celsius, then as the voltage went up, we would have seen much more tapering going
Yeah,
up.
so it's basically it's getting warmer so it can keep the charging rate up.
That's correct.
But it's adjusting on the fly
Mhm.
to do what it needs to do. Yeah, so we're actually at the point now where it's almost chasing its thermal cutback.
Well, it hasn't even gotten to maximum thermal ability yet.
I know. In other words,
Right, it hasn't gotten to thermal cutback.
It's getting better and better at accepting charge
Yeah, yeah.
as it's filling up. So it's like, oh, I can put a little bit more in than I could
Yep.
before.
Yep. We're starting to get to the optimal temperature.
Another 20 degrees would be perfect.
Yep. .5 kilowatts, 108 volts.
108
I
is,
can't
is,
believe how fast this
108
is going.
is 80%, isn't it?
No, 110 is 80%. So we're well into the 70s though.
Okay, that
With
makes
this.
sense.
However, this is lifted voltage.
Oh, that's true.
So if we are going at 2C right now, no, we're going at 1.8C, I would expect between 2 and 3 volts of drop
really that little.
on this. Yeah, 1C should be about 2 volts of drop. So we're almost 2C, and obviously this is our first time doing this fast of a test.
We'll
So
find out, yeah.
yeah, this is a learning experience for what the drop rates are going to be.
No unusual smells
Nope.
beyond you and your greasy self. Well, at least we're getting electricity at a cheap rate.
Yeah, we're off peak now. Oh my gosh, it's 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it is 1:30 in the morning.
I'm kneeling is really.
Now here's the. Thank you.
Oh no, I'm on the list! God damn it!
108 and a half already.
You know what I'd like to say?
We're out of that middle range now.
You know what I'd like to point out here?
What?
When I left the Tesla charge station,
Uh-huh.
I was pulling less than this bike.
Uh-huh.
I was only pulling like 25 amps or 25. No, that's not true. I lied. I was actually still pulling. I was still pulling 20 kW.
20 kW. Okay, yeah. Well, when we do the 1C plus testing on that bike, we will.
Then you can crush it.
Yeah. All right. So interesting. Remember earlier we were doing 8.1, 8.2, 8.5. Now because your voltage is going up, but your temperatures are also going up.
Yep.
You are still at 79.2 amps, but because your voltage has gone up, you're now charging at 8.6 kilowatts.
Yeah, you can
So
see.
your
We've gone up.
wattage is actually going up.
We've gone up almost 10 degrees Celsius,
Yes.
which is nice because
Charging this fast.
That's the burrito warming.
now we're starting to get to effective burrito warming temperatures.
Yeah, well, we still have 5 degrees Celsius to go before we're at optimal temperature.
Right.
But
it'll do is
what's
go.
a shame is your battery will probably be full by the time we get to the optimal temperature.
What's going to happen
And
is
Super Tuckery is closed right now.
that's
It's
true. But you know,
But he can keep it warm on the way back.
that's true. I could. But more importantly, also the other thing is that by the time it gets to optimal temperature, when you do this again, it really won't get much hotter. It'll just sit there.
That's correct.
Like,
Well, unless you goose on the throttle while you're riding it. You can.
oh
you
no,
can
I
heat it up a
understand.
lot
What I'm
less.
saying is, whatever the if I drive this thing and I bring it up to 40C, we plug it in, it might go up to 41C.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't make a difference.
Yeah,
after you get it warm.
especially at that low end, you're just going to be
Oh.
blasting it in. It's going to.
Yeah, don't even care.
Your batteries are going to be quite happy with what you're doing.
Yeah, no, that's the best part. But what I was realizing is that now in the morning, I almost want to have this thing start out at drained and then fill it up right before I go because
So
it'll
it's
warm
warm.
up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like, oh, that's great.
Well,
I can
also,
go.
you know, if you start with this thing almost drained, like you said, as you pull the power while you're riding, you're going to have to pull more amps to get the same number of watts to your motor,
You know
which
what-
means you're going to heat everything up that much
You know
more,
what-
getting ready to start charging. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. You don't even have to like set it a long time before you get up in the morning. It's like you get up first thing, you set it to charge, then you go take a shower. By the time you get out of the shower, it's done.
So it does depend on how cold the environment is. If you live in, say, Michigan or Minnesota,
Yeah.
and it's the middle of the winter and your bike is in the garage, if you do that and you plug it in, it's going to start charging very slowly until it starts to warm itself up. It's actually going to charge slower than the onboard chargers will charge because Ferrosis, the battery manufacturer, thinks that is too fast.
I heard it click.
It clicked.
It's done. I heard another click.
No, that was both of your
Ah, click.
batteries. That's your batteries saying, oh, it timed out. Your bike timed out.
Oh, the bike just gave up. Oh, here, you want the key?
Actually, you know what? It didn't time out. Don't know why it clicked.
We're good. So I'm watching it then, and like,
No, we're good. We're good.
Brandon, why is there a little flame?
Perfectly good opportunity to ginger beer.
Oh no, 0.0%.
Oh, check it out. You can see the voltage on here. 109.
109.7. Yeah. Let me. Oops.
Oh, we're past that.
Yep.
We're at 109.9 actual right now.
Ah.
109.8, 110. Okay. This is ridiculous.
At some point, it's going to go from 0% to like 90%.
100%.
Yeah, she's going to fall. She's
Yep.
going to give up. 110 volts already.
Oh, check it out. So we hit the next level of cutback. I see it bouncing between 57 and 61 and a half.
And we've gone up 10 degrees Celsius.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Between 57. So, Morgan, what is 57 divided by 44?
A small number. Yeah. Well, it's bigger than 1.
It's bigger than 1.
Yeah, I'd say it's like
Probably
1.2.
1.2?
1.2, yeah.
1.29.
Yeah, I guess that.
Yeah. All right. So, at 80%, you're now at 1.2C.
I like how I'm still charging over 1C. That's the important
But
part.
safely.
Safely, that's correct.
Within the specifications required to keep your battery at maximum health and maximum longevity.
That's correct.
Yeah, the most important, and the other important part is it's warming up in preparation for the ride.
And burritos.
The midnight ride to
And burritos.
to
Burrito Town.
Exactly. Where are we going?
Burrito Town.
Oh, the other thing that's really cool, check this out. The cell balance is still 4 millivolts.
Oh, it's nothing.
Yeah.
How's this thing so low? Because we're getting so close to full.
Everything is all
They're
parallel.
talking to each other constantly.
That's oftentimes what I have when the bike's fully charged.
Mhm.
Like, how is it still keeping that under this load? It seems very, very happy.
The lack of indication of smoke, is even confirming that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Happy because it's not on fire.
I think we should take this time while we're waiting to go take a look at this neat little motor. We're gonna not yet, not yet.
Not yet.
Later.
110.8.
Is that another cutback point?
No, it does not appear to be. I'm just
Random number,
excited that
he's
it's.
just
Just excited.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say something neat was gonna happen.
I
there.
think like, 110.9.
110.9.
Yeah. Literally, give a minute. Hold your breath. It's 110.983.
Well, it's actually we call it 111.
111.
After 110.9.
Wait, you can hold your breath between the volts.
Yeah, you actually could. And what's more impressive is not between the lower voltage, the upper voltage. There's only 5 volts left.
You can hold your breath for the discharge rate too. When I was going uphill and cranking down the throttle,
Yeah.
I was watching about 10 seconds per percentage there. I was like, oh yeah, 63, 62,
Oh. Man, when we passed that car.
61. You passed. I didn't pass any cars.
Oh, okay. When I passed that car,
This thing's capped at 70 miles per hour until the changes come in.
I look in the mirror.
There's another car coming in the lane. I thought, you know what? I'm not staring the devil in the face today. I'm just going to keep behind the minivan because it was like a line with a dotted, and that was like for a little bit. And he goes, I'm like, yeah.
Once we get the changes made,
Yeah,
to this thing,
until
then
that,
we will.
but I hit the throttle, and like it was like 60, it was like 65, and nothing happened, and I went, not today.
Yeah.
I was
Poor
doing
little
like
baby.
120. So he got this FX down to 25%, right, Morgan? And I got
25, yeah.
that down to like 67% from 100%.
Oh, he was wheeling on the valley road, going uphill, wheeling, passing cars.
Soon I'll be able to do that.
Just lean back. No,
But
no,
what's cool-
no, Brandon, you can't wheelie if your bike doesn't have much power. Remember this? Guy can't have a 650. Can't wheelie a 650. You probably don't know anything about racing or any of this kind of wheeling lifestyle.
So that's wheeling with 2 chargers in the front of the bike and a 40-pound power tank. Not to mention doing 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds flat. Hey, guess what? We're at 112.1.
Keep emptying at 112.7, thank you. I'd like the random updates.
Yeah, we're almost at nice 40C.
Yeah. 2 more degrees and we will be at optimal temperature. So remember, up to 40C, we're using the lower temperature as the guide. However, we also have the upper temperature as a cutback.
Right.
So the tests in the software go first voltage, that sets your C rate. Then it'll go for your cold temperature cutbacks, which if your temperature is too low, it'll chop your C rate down even further.
Got it.
All the way down to like 0.1 C. And then we have your high temperature cutbacks at the very end, which
'Cause
means
that's where it matters.
yeah. So say you're like right in the sweet spot for temperature with the low portions of the cells.
Right.
When we check for the high temperature, that's all already cut back. We are then going to simply cap your C rate if any of your cells are too hot.
Another click.
Yep. Well, so now, 90%.
Oh wow! At least we got some power at last.
Oh, great. We got the clock on the top, too, so we'll be able to see exactly how many minutes it was.
Yeah. Well, I also have the camera rolling too. We can always cover that with too.
Uh-huh.
We know that it's been about 25 minutes.
90% from below zero. So 95 volts is 0%.
Oh, we're at 90 volts.
We were at 90 volts. We were 5 volts below 0%.
You had to push it because it wouldn't do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the poor thing was dead. It stopped hard. It wouldn't talk to me.
113 volts, Morgan.
I wanted 112.7.
Sorry, I missed it. It's so
missed it.
fast. I missed it.
You have dishonored your family.
So we are, just so you know, because we were in the 1.3C, 1.2, 1.3C maximum limit, that means we're only getting 6.4 kilowatts right now. Just about 6.5.
Oh, so we can
Peasant-
pull the other charger off then.
Peasant charging at this point.
We could actually, technically, now at this stage, we could remove the third charger. But up until 113 volts, we needed all three because we were able to pump all of that out,
Ah!
which is pretty cool. I mean, in FX, using as many chargers as most people are like, well, do I really need three chargers on my
current
SR?
FX, an old FX.
Yeah.
not the 2018 FX, mind you. The old 2014 FX from before America was made great again.
95% on the dash, 113.8 here. So it'll probably read about 100% at 114 volts.
It'll
That's
probably
generally
take,
what
it'll
Zero's
probably-
algorithms
It'll
look like.
probably take 8 more minutes to 10 more minutes just to finish this last little bit.
Yep.
But we're going after the last 5%.
Yeah. So I mean, I would have
Take
left
you an hour.
Yeah.
like 5 minutes ago.
Well, actually, an hour. I remember an hour with the standard chargers and E-wells was 13% per hour. 13% per hour.
Wow, that's more
I
than
memorized it.
expected. 13% per hour.
You had
Wait,
many hours.
13% per hour.
Per hour.
I thought you were saying per minute.
No, per hour. Every 60 minutes, I got 13%.
That sucks.
Oh, really?
Does it, Brandon?
How do people ride like that?
Do you remember that long 25?
Ah, we're at 114.
And he still wasn't convinced he needed fast charging at that.
Wait. When he had
convinced he needed fast
wait,
charging.
he had a quick charger which was 900 watts and
onboard
640
40.
watts on board. So you had 1,540 watts.
Basically 15 amps.
So you had 1,500 watts of charging.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know if I need to go faster.
Yeah.
And now your
pretty
target
nice, I'm not
is
sure.
12,000?
Anyways,
1,500 to 12,000.
20 times the charging the stock bike has.
Essentially, he's going to be like, let's see if we get this under 10 minutes.
Holy cow, 20 times.
20
times the stock charging.
20 times.
That is just crazy. All right, so we are in another cutback. We're at 43.8. So we are at like 0.9, 0.8, 0.9
We're
C.
getting to the point where there's going to be the charger going to take up as much space as the batteries, and we want
No,
to keep to the.
No. Because those will get smaller and smaller over
Yes.
time. Pretty soon.
But right
that
now,
will look like those.
right now, you are going to have only slightly less chargers than batteries in physical volume.
It doesn't
This is an
matter.
exception.
But I don't see it's a problem.
No, this is the size of two.
Power tank.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's actually less weight than a power tank.
If
It's less weight than one of
and
your
if we
battery
really
rates.
wanted to split hairs, we could technically pull all the cooling fins and the fans off to make them physically smaller.
Yeah, we could.
But I don't think we should.
No, it's just too easy right now.
No, and
So
quite
it's
honestly,
first, like ripping the bar off and running outside the batteries in a dolly.
yeah, well, it was more of the fact that they keep some. Look, they're not even hot. I bet you right now. Yeah, they're not even really warm. They're like 89 degrees.
If
not
that, I mean, dude. Okay, 114 and a half. We're just over 114 and a half. And you're getting 5 kilowatts, 43.8 amps.
You realize I'm still getting more than I had when I had one charger on there with you on.
It's used for a year.
Yes. Yes. Like, we gotta do a ride where we go up to San Francisco to the airport to pick somebody up.
Oh man, I mean, Like,
I know, I could have taken him up to the airport.
Really, Jeremiah on the back?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't know pegs.
Where's your passenger pegs? You had a lot of luggage, did you not?
He can just, put his foot
Oh,
right there.
yeah,
that's what this
good.
is for. You put the suitcase on.
It's all about
It's not like Zach's broken one or two of these before.
it's like, get none of these things. Now we should go. We should make sure we go to the next Zero ride.
I'm surprised Terry didn't wake up with the scent of fresh, fast charging.
Terry prefers slow charging these days.
That's true. Didn't you like that 1 kW charging?
Oh, so he had his board. I gave him the first BLE board because it works with iOS.
Right.
He had it turned down to 1 kilowatt when he went to his place so that he could charge from the wall. Well,
He forgot.
I would never charge from the wall. I don't charge from the wall.
I won't do it anymore either.
Screw charging from
I
the
won't
wall.
have anything to do with that.
But
Oh my God!
if you're gonna
I felt myself coming back to my roots here, like.
So we're recording all this for posterity because it's our first test of this. But Zach has been at 3C charging.
Yeah, no.
actually, I think the highest we got was 2C
I've
because of temperature limitations, right?
I've been up since Zach got back from his ride because charging was chasing me around.
Ah, okay.
So I've heard all the excitement. I was listening here. And I was like, now you guys know how I felt back in 2012 when I first was charging my bike at like 18 kilowatts. And I'm like, why is everybody else charging at 1 and I'm charging? Because
Oh my
this is
gosh.
the solution. And I was like, Harlan, why don't you start selling these things? It's like, does your bike really charge as fast? It's like, yes. He's like, okay, I'll start selling them.
People just don't.
Oh my God, this is so ridiculous. It's 100%. He's at 115 volts right now, lifted.
And it
And
warmed
I
up.
remember you guys got here, they were at
3.5.
literally at 90 volts, which is like
you heard it.
negative.
It stopped.
6%.
I had to push
Yeah.
the bike back.
Yeah.
Power.
Well, that was the goal. That was the goal.
90's
Morgan got it back at 25%. Then we had other stuff to do, and
All right,
Zach took it
so-
out.
So you're 115 with lift. You do have.
It's at 3.5 kilowatts right
Okay,
now,
good.
30 amps, so we're at like
and you were,
0.8 C.
you were charging at a maximum of like what, 8.5 or 9 or so, or 9.9?
Well, we were charging at a maximum of 2C, which would, I think the highest I saw was 9.2.
9.2, yeah.
Yeah, but then as it dropped down, so it started in the 8s, and then the wattage rose.
So Zach, I guess what we need to do is you need me to fix the weld that broke on the back thing and put the third one back there.
Yeah. So what we're thinking of doing, Carrie, is we also need to have one on the left and one on the right. In case we have some more. Like what we'll do is we'll
You
build.
know, that would be more balanced anyway. Just put them make
Well, we're
them
going to build a charger enclosure, so I sit. You know how we built that streamlining shell? We're going to make a streamlining shell out of chargers. So just build an enclosure
Can
around
we somehow wrap the wheels in copper? So that- build our own sort of makeshift.
So if these are going to be the primary go-tos, if he's going to put 2 more back here, 4 chargers on an FX, you definitely would not need the heat sink or fan for like leg clearance because they're not going to run long enough. You won't even be able to feel any warmth from them by the time you're done charging.
No, they'll be used for wind protection.
We're at 30
Build
point.
a wall.
Morgan, what's 30.6 divided by 44?
0.76.
Human
33.6
calculator.
you said?
30.6.
Divided by 44?
Yeah,
0.6954545.
0.69. So we're at 0.7 C right now.
Yeah, okay.
And these new algorithm is turning itself up and down all by itself, depending on what it needs to be.
It already reads 100%.
Yeah. So the bike will actually read 100% at 114 volts.
Yeah, which is a little bit low.
Hey, I like this right here. Not for now, but maybe in 5 years, if you do this every single day, there may be one day where something starts to go right, and you just want to be able to kick one of these things
That's
out.
what we were doing.
I like that idea.
That's why it was unlocked.
That's
because
our
we were-
safety. That's our safety
This,
check.
here,
I don't think
this is here so we can haul the batteries out without burning to death.
Yeah. I don't think this would even be an issue for like 5 years, and probably never. But if it were
Yeah.
to happen, it
Well,
will happen.
so-
Safety first.
Terry.
Safety last, fast charging first.
No. This is actually safety first.
I know.
The algorithm that I
helped
wrote.
you design.
Yeah, but the final algorithm is actually based off of what Ferris's recommendations for fast charging
Yeah, so
is.
they're happy. As long as they're happy and it's something I agreed with also and Luke agreed with it, I'm
Yep.
totally good with it, and I'm going to do it myself as well.
And the cool thing is, like,
Zach's the first.
Yesterday-
The first in the world!
he is actually. He is.
You are the first in the world.
I tried it last night with Zach's bike with the cool portion. I just got the high temperature portion done today. So the cool portion I got in, and he was limited to like a couple hundred watts of charging in the middle of, it was like around this time, but the bike had been sitting
Is it down,
outside.
what, like 2.5 kilowatts now?
3 kilowatts right now,
Okay, it was
but
3.5,
still
so
30 amps.
it's-
Nope. We're right on the cusp now. It dropped to 26.4 amps here.
Nice.
Now we're basically
26.4. So what is that? That's
It's
like
topping off.
that's 0.6 C, I think.
Yeah.
That's
That's
basically
0.6.
you're pulling
It's
like
the
1.8
equivalent.
kW.
It's
Yeah,
the
now-
equivalent of your gas pump shutting off and you topping it up by squeezing a little bit extra into it.
Actually,
I know people that would do that. They'll spend 10
Wait a
minutes,
minute.
like trigger pull.
All right, click, you're the click.
wait. Yep, Morgan, you will see that in this algorithm. You'll
Top it
actually
off.
see. I'm actually doing the trigger
I've
pull
already watched
squeezing
it.
in the
I watch
algorithm.
it where it'll be doing like 28,
Uh-huh.
and then it'll drop all the way down to like 11, and then go back up again.
Yep.
And then and taper off at 22, and then it'll drop down to 9, and then go back up to get. So you'll just keep.
And again, the reason it does that is because there's this thing called lift, right? And as we're putting watts into the battery,
Yeah, we have to go over for safety. We
Yes,
can close it now if you want. We weren't sure. I think it's not going to burn down. We have 40. Whoa, look at that. It's not getting hot.
116.1.
39 degrees Celsius. Yeah.
Yeah. So this thing called lift, the more wattage you put into the battery, the more artificially high the voltage is going to get. So when you stop charging the battery, the voltage will drop. It'll sag back down, the same as it sags when you get on the throttle. And that's why we are still able to charge at 3 kilowatts right now, because in fact our resting voltage is much less than 116.
Probably 114 and a half.
Well, you're at about a half C, so it's probably 115 right now.
So we're getting pretty close to full.
Yep.
Like we're at like.
Well,
what,
your bike
80
thinks it's totally full.
Right, but that's because the bike gives up at 115. Right?
Yeah. So the reason we're recording all of this is so that we can see exactly how long it takes to go from negative percentage to completely full.
Yeah.
Right? Normally, you would only ride it to 20% and then to 30%, but we'll actually be able to measure the time looking at the video for
we
that.
can do that exactly. And more
This is
importantly-
stupid fast, man.
Of course, then we should do one again once when we start with the batteries at 50 C or
Yeah,
45.
after we do like a ride where we heat them up,
Or
we'll get there.
to see what
if you
optimal-
want, take the batteries out, put them in the fridge for a bit.
No, we want.
Oh, we're talking about seeing the actual 3C
I want to
charger.
see the fastest we can do,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
compare it to the coldest.
Yeah.
If they're cold, you put them in the fridge for a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll do another test. We throw them in the fridge
Mm-hmm.
and then let them charge. And
Afterwards,
watch what
throw 'em in the
happens.
fire.
Do we have anybody that has a roll-in freezer we could borrow?
Like you mean for the entire bike? No,
Yeah.
The battery's out. It has a little docking thing.
I know. I'm just thinking.
It's a lot of work. I
It's-
want to sit
it's-
in a cold seat.
It's less work to just push the bike
Of
into
course,
a
the motor would
freezer.
be great for a little while, wouldn't it?
Yes, it
Hey,
would.
what is this you're drinking?
It's
Cold water?
Why are
No.
your hands all wet?
Oh, because I just filled up.
missed.
I filled up.
But if,
Terry, go wash your hands off.
Generally
Don't drink
speaking-
that.
generally speaking, generally speaking, though, tea uses hot water, and if you spilled hot water on your hands, your
Well,
hands would
wait
be
a minute.
scalded.
If is it iced tea?
Terry, why do I?
Did you please tell me you recorded Brandon's face when I did
Very
that?
tepid
It's
tea.
hot. It's hot tea with
Oh, lukewarm tea.
100
Exactly how I like it.
105 degree
it's-
temp water.
Tepid and spittable.
Terry, why don't you put it in the little thing we have?
Well,
that
I would
uses-
if you had made some, but I'm not picky. I don't complain.
So
about
I should go in there right now and make some.
No, I'm not. You guys are the ones that are playing. I am okay with whatever temperature tea. It doesn't bother me. If I go to Starbucks and my coffee is room temperature, it doesn't bother me.
What
at
if
all.
it's piping hot?
I mean, it's
We're doing the squeeze the thing
Little
to fill it up,
squeeze the lemon
so I can see
thing?
it got up to one. It got up to 116.4 here, and
Now it's dropping back.
yeah.
All right, so now's when you want your time. What's your official time?
40, about 39 minutes.
Yeah, so that's from completely empty. Like right now, you get
What
It's
did you
actually
say it was?
probably like
Negative
38
6%?
Yeah, like well, I mean, that's because
That's
there's
the Hershner rates.
that's because there's optimism in the zero SOC gauge. True empty is 88 volts, but that is empty. We call 0% 95 volts. So, but that's like
We started at 90 volts.
that is
The bike wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
That's pretty empty.
It refused to talk to
This
me.
is cool,
so
Terry.
technically, that's like 105% of what the official zero charging range usually is.
Yeah.
So you
Check this out. 116.4. You can see we're doing 26.4 amps here.
Yep, I see it.
Watch.
Hold
As
on.
soon as we hit 116.5, boom, 0,
Back up for a second.
4 amps, 8 amps, 12 amps,
Why are you following
17
me, Terry?
amps, 25 amps, 30
Yep,
amps,
I see it. Yeah, so it's going up and
26
down.
amps.
Bouncing
Yeah,
back and forth.
it's figuring out where just the right sea level is.
We're at sea level. A couple hundred
To
feet.
top
The
it up
ocean's-
all the way.
Ocean's just a little bit to the west.
What temperatures? What sea temperature is it?
The temperature
39
of the
degrees
battery
Celsius.
is 39 degrees Celsius. That is correct.
That's good. That's a good temperature.
Yeah, it's very nice. It started at 26.
We've got too many C's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
C signal.
Terry,
That's right. We already said
drink
that
your
already.
tea.
You know, this was written in C++.
Well, C and C++. And this is also the 1C plus
I'm gonna
charger.
go. I'm
You
gonna
know,
go-
there's a lot of material
I see.
that could solve
Ah.
these problems here. We just gotta.
Wait, no.
Gotta.
let me go see where charger
Terry,
is.
come back here. We need to
I
have
see, said the blind carpenter as he picked up
a.
his
We need,
hammer
we
and
need
saw.
to talk,
Okay,
Terry.
so we're now in the squeezing portion of this. This is
Can you do that again for the camera?
Oh,
That's ooh. Oh man.
That's too hot for TV right
what is
there.
this? Right
That's
Do
how
that
Brandon
too?
charges.
Here,
That's how
here.
Brandon
Let's do this
charges
together.
for.
What is it? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Whatever you imagine.
When they're doing, don't stop. And don't stop. I'm gonna need a few minutes here. Can somebody else take over filming?
Is this a
so
39-minute video you've made?
It's a 42-minute and 45-second
You've been filming the
video.
whole time. Okay.
yeah, we I don't really see a point in
No,
sticking
don't-
around
No,
for
unless
this
Zach's going to go ride
because
for
we
10
are
minutes.
we are fully full at
Yeah,
this point.
and we don't
It's just trying to
When-
push in another 50 watts.
When it drops down, it's dropping all the way to 0 amps,
Yeah,
and
so-
it's at 116.1 volts at that point.
I agree with Killen. What I would like to show is that Zach does this for like 5 years, and that his battery is actually out after everybody else's because he doesn't actually charge the full all the time.
Right.
Like this is actually the worst thing we're doing right now. The fast charging is
Terry,
not that.
can you go over to Starbucks and get us some hot tea? So then you can take down the power. We can
We
make
have hot tea right here. Okay. All right.
Can you just go pull some wheelies?
In the
some
Starbucks.
righteous
In
kickflips.
the Starbucks women's over, sure,
Oh,
Take
oh,
this with you,
by the way.
and they'll let you in.
okay.
Oh!
So I have
Does anybody know where the?
disconnected the chargers. You see the bike automatically turned itself off.
Yeah.
Oh, you were asleep. You didn't see that, Terry.
Well, I've been awake since
The
Zach got
bikes turn themselves on now. The new algorithm I've got set up
to turn.
turns the bike on.
That's with the third board. The third
yeah.
board?
I've got an
So
extra,
you've got a board
whole
that talks
extra board.
just to the chargers, a board that talks just to the bike, and then.
Keeps everything fully isolated. There's
So what
no
is it? It's
miscommunication.
one processor board and then two CAN shields.
That's correct. We have two MCP 2552s or whatever the heck they are.
All right, so one CAN for chargers, one CAN for a bike, and then
Yep.
one that controls everything.
Yep, and then it normalizes everything all together. But the coolest thing is now we can just put the little hangers on our J plugs or our Tesla connectors that say go ahead and unplug me.
Unplug me, yeah.
When you're done, plug me back in. But
Yeah.
actually,
Oh, 'cause
in
it'll
fact,
turn
we're
itself
going to be
on.
done.
To
way
say, why
before
do you
other
exactly
people.
would you need a hanger? You're gonna be
I
here
like
for
these hangers.
15, 20
Well,
minutes.
because for me, if I'm charging with 8 J plugs, I'll put 7 hangers on 7 of them. okay, to unplug. I'll go into P, and just in case somebody pulls
Yeah, but
up.
Terry,
real quick.
if you had 7 J plugs, you could do it with just 3 Teslas.
This is true. This is true.
And wouldn't you like to do more with less, Terry? Have you learned nothing from the veterans?
Yeah, well,
How's that tea?
It is very, very nice tea. It could possibly be a little warmer, but it's fine.
So you know what else we did?
Would
we
you like to make some hot
we unplugged the power tank in this bike,
Okay.
and then we charged the monolith up. The new algorithm automatically detected the amp hours of the monolith, and that the power tank was not connected, and it charged. It pegged because I put how many charges did I put on here, Zach?
You had 4, right?
No, 3, 4, 5. I had 5 charges.
Yeah. 5.
3 in the
which
pan,
is
2 on the
which
side.
is 164 amps maximum, roughly.
How are you powering 5 chargers? 4 from the outside plug?
Two plugs. However, get this: because of the new C rate controls that we have in there, it automatically detected this is a 1C for this monolith is 104 amps, and it pegged it at 104 amps, and didn't go over. So it automatically turned itself back down. Then what we did,
Plugged in the power tank.
we plugged in the power tank,
Plugged it back in.
plugged it back in.
It sensed the
Guess
power
what?
tank was low, and it charged
It's-
just the power tank up.
Yes, it opened the monolith contactor,
Making progress.
closed
Making
the
progress.
power tank contactor.
Yeah.
Then it detected the power tank's amp hour rating
Yeah.
and only charged at 27 amps until the power tank and the monolith were in sync. And then it closed both of the contactors and ramped that up to 130 amps and pegged it at that. So you could literally have as many chargers as you want on the bike,
And it'll determine what's going on.
and it will run perfectly
Good.
smooth,
Good.
which means that people can also, well, I shouldn't say this because not everybody. Once people join us in the Elite Club,
In the what club? Elite?
Elite. It's not elite. That's for the slightly less.
Just
We're
elite?
the elites. It's
The
spelled L33T.
Actually spelled 1337.
1337.
Actually spelled 31337 if you want to get technical about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go watch Hackers!
But for the people who do take the time to learn about batteries,
For the
and
people
learn about all
who
of
have
this
this
safety,
special modification done here.
we'll be able to do this.
Hey Zach, where's
Or-
your
Oh my
rubber
God,
band
I just
thing for your
realized the
phone?
kids'
When
username
you
on
bought
the
these, I
movie
saw
was
you
Zero.
buy
Zero.
You know,
Then
Terry,
you roll
unlike
with it.
you, I'm not a pussy.
Oh, cool.
No,
I've had my
no,
phone fly off
we're
my
just zero
tray.
likes.
You know how many times I've had mine fly off?
Zero.
Sorry, none.
Like that was the kid's, the main character's username.
Maybe because this
Oh.
won't do
I
100
don't know
miles
what
an
you're
hour,
talking
but
The movie
Well, it
Hackers.
will
Oh,
you'll
yeah,
need
yeah.
it because
You know what?
the aerodynamic drag at 100 is twice what it is at 75.
Oh,
so
guess
if
what?
you leave it at 75 now, you're going to need that rubber band.